Hi, I'm Phil Ciccio, and I want to share with you today a lesson on documentation, how important it is to really write down the things that you want. First of all, your goals and your dreams. Also, write down your affirmations because it's so important, and keeping a journal about what's been going on in your day and some of the thoughts that come to your mind, and obviously writing down things that you're grateful for. So I want to sort of go through this process of writing because, see, writing creates thinking, and thinking creates images. Those images create the feelings. Those feelings, they move through your body and they produce actions. Those actions are what give you the results that you are getting in your life, or you could be getting in your life. So it all starts with this writing, all right? And I want to share with you how important writing is. When we write our goals, most people, either they don't have goals or they don't have them written down, and how important it is to write down your goals and obviously be clear and specific about them. I'm going to share with you a study about goals that was done at Harvard. All right, they're MBA grads back in 1979, graduating, and they decided to do a survey, and they asked them if they had goals and if they had their goals in writing. Now, 84% of the class, they didn't even have goals. They didn't even have an idea what they really wanted. 13% had goals, but they weren't written down. And this is important to remember. The 13% hadn't written them down, but they did have a goal. They had an idea of what they wanted. And then 3% of that class, only 3%, had goals written down, committed to paper. It's just amazing what happened, because 10 years later they went and they surveyed these students that had graduated and see where they were in their life at this point. Now the 13%, these were the students that had a goal, but they didn't have it written down, they didn't commit it to paper. They were actually out-earning the other 84% that had no goals by twice as much, which is pretty incredible, just because they had a goal, an idea of what they wanted. Now the 3%, this is where it gets staggering. When I read this, I couldn't even believe it. Okay, the 3% that actually had goals written down, committed to paper, they wrote it out, okay? They were out earning the other 97%, okay, combined by over 10 times. Think about that. That's a staggering number. The other 97% combined, their total income combined, these 3%ers were out earning them by 10 times that. See, that's the 3% club. That's the club that you want to be in. And in order to be in that club, you've got to start writing down the things that you want in your life. It's so critically important. Now, clarity is another thing that's important, okay? Because we want to be very clear on what we want. So just writing down that you want to have a successful business or you want to earn a lot of money, they're too vague. That's not clear enough. I want to have a really wonderful relationship. You've got to be more specific as to what it looks like. When you're writing it out, okay, since writing creates the thinking and the thinking creates images, we want to have clear images because our subconscious mind needs to work with a clear image, and so does the universe. So what I want to share with you is how important it is to make sure it's clear and specific, because the message that you're sending out when you're writing, if it isn't clear, is nebulous. And if it's nebulous, you're not going to attract into your life the things that you truly want, okay? So I'm going to share a story with you. There was a couple, they were out on their 40th anniversary having dinner. Now, that's a pretty significant milestone, 40 years together. And the husband presents his wife at the restaurant with this gold locket. Now understand this, when we think about our mind, our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our conscious mind is sort of like the master and the subconscious mind is like the genie. So we tell the subconscious mind what to do, and the subconscious mind, like a genie, just grants our wish. It goes out and gets it done. So think about this gentleman, okay, he gives this locket to his wife. She opens up the locket and boom, a genie pops out of the locket, okay, and says, wow, you know, it's been 40 years that you've been together. I'm here to grant you both one wish, whatever you want, okay? So the wife's thinking about it for a while. She's like, this is amazing. We've got a genie and all this stuff. She's all amazed by it. And she says, what is it that I want? And she starts thinking for a little while. And she says, you know what I'd love? She goes, I've been together with my husband for 40 years now. We've been happily married. We've been in love. I'd love to be able to travel all the world, every corner of the world, visit all the beautiful cities, all the things that we can over the next several years with my husband and be as in love as we have been the last 40 years and just enjoy this time together and not have it burden us financially or anything like that. So the genie says, your wish is my command, and boom. Tickets are on the table, all the money they need, they're ready to go. So they're able to go on this beautiful trip around the world and spend this time together. So the genie turns to the husband and says, it's your turn, what is it that you want? And the husband's really excited about the trip, and he's like, oh, this is amazing, we'll go on this trip together and we're in love. He says, I'm a little embarrassed to say this though, because what I'd like, if we're going to be going on a trip together and we're going to be spending the next few years traveling the world, he goes, I'd really, really love it if my wife was 20 years younger than me. And the genie looks over at him, a little startled, and the wife looks back at the genie and is a little startled too. And the genie says, okay, your wish is my command. And boom, turns the guy 93 years old, right? See, so you've got to be clear and specific as what you wanted. He didn't say that he wanted his wife to be 40, right? He just said that he wanted her to be 20 years younger than he was. So the genie increased his years of life. So you need to be very, very clear and specific with the things that you want, okay? This is incredibly important. And we talk about writing out our goals, and we write them clear and specific. We also want to write out affirmations, right? Things that will make us feel good phrases. So for instance, there's one that I love to use, I use it all the time, and it's that successful people are willing to do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. And I've written that out, and that's one of my affirmations where I write it out and I read it over and over and over again. And having an affirmation written out is powerful. And each morning when I get up, I write a new affirmation or I rewrite the same affirmation. Writing creates thinking, and thinking creates images, and those images are giving you the feelings that are needed in order to move your body into action, because your body's going to move based on the emotion that it receives, okay? And when we're talking about emotions, this is what I mean by this, because we get emotionally involved in something, we act, all right? And we act based on that level of emotion. So if there's something that you want in your life, and many people want a lot of things, and you probably have a lot of people in your life saying that they want things but they don't get them, it's because they're not emotionally involved enough to go ahead and act on it, okay? So this is one of the things that we're going to do when you're writing in your journal or in your online diary, whatever it is. Be very, very clear and specific and write it out, okay? Write out what you did today that moved you closer to your goals and dreams. What progressive activities that you did today that are getting you closer to where you want to go. Write it out, because those are successes throughout your day. And if you felt that during the day maybe there was something that you could have done, that you know that you should have done, that you didn't do to get the results that you want, write it out, and then write out, what could I do next time? What could I do tomorrow to make sure that I'm moving closer to my goal? When we're writing, we want to write positive, and we want to write in present tense, because we're literally sending a message through our subconscious mind. And when we write down something that we didn't like let's just say today you went out and you thought you were going to do some things, you didn't do it. And you get home tonight and you're going to write in your journal, and you write out, I'm really disappointed in myself for not doing this or that, right? That's going to put you in negative vibration. Just write out what you think you could do tomorrow, and your subconscious mind will take that as sort of a record, and it will help you tomorrow move forward and do those things, okay? The other thing that you should be writing down is things that you're grateful for. This is important. I wake up every morning, and one of the first things I do, I think about the things that I'm grateful for. And write out 6 or 7 or 10 things that you're grateful for. Sometimes it might be as simple as just the fact that you woke up, or the fact that you have a roof over your head. It can be things like, you have a wonderful family, or you're healthy. Writing out what you're grateful for. Gratitude is the key to success, because it puts you in such a really, really great vibration, a really good feeling. So I like to write out what I'm grateful for. And sometimes it might be the same thing every morning that I'm writing out. Sometimes I might think of something else. Sometimes I might just say I'm grateful for the abilities that I have, that I'm aware of. So it's important to write down what you're grateful for. The other thing you want to do is start writing your new level of awareness. Think about this for a moment. As you're going through this program, you're going to start to develop a new level of awareness. All right? Things are going to start to appear to you that never appeared before but were always here. Because everything that you've ever wanted is already here. You just need to expand your awareness to bring it into your life. So let's just imagine for a moment that this circle here represents your awareness, okay? And all the things that you want are outside here. They're all around here, okay? Well, for you to bring those into your life, you need to expand your level of awareness. And that's what we're doing through this process, is we're going to increase your level of awareness so you bring those things into your life. You become aware of how it is that you're going to achieve these things. So if it's income you're looking for, and for instance, you're earning, let's just say you're earning $50,000 a year, you're just not aware of how to earn $50,000 a month yet. So we need to expand your awareness, okay? So what I mean by this writing down the things that you're now aware of is so important. You go through your day, and now all of a sudden you have this aha moment, you became aware of something. Write it out. Something that you've never experienced before, some level of awareness that you've now achieved. It's really, really powerful to write down everything that you've become aware of, okay? So your new awareness, gratitude, your affirmations, your goals, they're incredibly important to keep writing down, okay? Most people don't even realize this. There's one other thing that I want to share with you before we wrap up this session here, this lesson, is that your thoughts and your ideas, you've got to write them down. Okay? Most people have thoughts coming into their mind. Maybe they're just driving along, they have a thought and it's a great idea, and they think they can hold on to that thought. But you can't. It's very, very difficult to remember things. So what you need to do is make sure that you have a pencil and a piece of paper next to you all the time so you can write down your thoughts. Okay? Earl Nightingale said this best. He said, "Thoughts are like slippery fish, and if you don't gaff them with a pencil, they're likely to get away." Okay? So make sure you're writing down your thoughts. I think of things all the time. I remember this morning I was getting ready, I was shaving and everything, and I had a pen and a piece of paper next to me, and 3 thoughts came to me, and I immediately wrote them down because I know that by the time I'm done getting ready, I might forget them. So if there's one thing I can share with you right now that can change your life, is to make sure you keep a pen and a piece of paper with you at all times. Record your thoughts, record what you're grateful for, start affirming those affirmations, the things that make you feel good, okay? And your life will begin to change. Thank you, I'm Phil Ciccio. I hope you enjoyed this session.